Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are talking about Yashahime, episode 6. And this one was pretty interesting. We got the one thing that I really like about the original series in Inuyasha was the monster of the week aspect that it carries throughout, a lot of its 193, I think, total episodes or whatever it was. Yes, you have like Naraku, you have this like consistent threat. You have an overarching plot of getting back these jewel shards, and in this one we have early sort of like conflicts with trying to find the dream butterfly and everything, and getting Setsuna's memories back, and her ability to like have dreams and sleep and everything, and you have that, but at the same time, in the meantime, you have these interesting sort of like one-off stories, mini arcs of different sort of demons plaguing different villages and towns and stuff like that, and the main characters trying to deal with that. And it shows the characters like working together, bonding, developing relationships and stuff like that. And I thought this episode was like a really perfect example of that. It's something that I really like in the original show, and I think that this did a very good job. Now, if you haven't seen my episode discussions before, reviews, whatever you want to call them, I'm not going to talk about everything specifically that happened in the episode. I'm assuming that if you're watching this, you probably watched it yourself. So I kind of want to talk about what I like within the episode, and sort of like what I'm looking forward to. So continuously in the show, Moroha is my favorite of the three main girls here. I love how early on in the episode she's standing up in the bicycle basket thing and is like singing. It's interesting. She has like a little AirPod in, and she's which is also funny in the sense that I have always loved the modern day stuff mixed with the feudal era stuff, where you have this completely modern day item um, being used in by a character from the feudal era, and it's just interesting. She's funny. She's the funny bounty hunter action person of the group. She's really interesting character for sure. We also like delve a little bit. Well, they sort of try and peel back the onion that is her personality in this. When there's one specific point where Toa asks her, you're doing all this like bounty hunting for money. What are you like saving all this money for? And she doesn't really give an answer. She's like, oh well, I'm gonna pretend to be asleep now. So that's alluding, I think, to some interesting development that we'll probably get later on in Moroha's character. Um, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see where we go from there. But I love her personality. She's pretty spontaneous. She's pretty willing to say what's on her mind and everything, and but still keep some stuff secret. So that's interesting. Not that the other two characters are really that bad. I would say if I were to rank them, I'd say Moroha, Toa, then Setsuna still. Although we did have some cool development of the other two characters in this episode as well. Primarily, we were dealing with like the ghost cat, the demon sort of controlling the ghost cats. It's interesting. This like sort of, I know it's a different sort of thing, but it reminded me of Kilala. Um, uh, but I believe Kilala is a completely different type of demon than what was involved here. Just similar, red eyes and stuff like that. And obviously, Kilala was a lot nicer than this thing. Interesting the effect that this sort of had on like the villagers and making them sort of like neglect their kids and only care about the cats and stuff like that. And it was seemingly like feeding off of that energy and so forth. And it was able to basically use the monk guy as this like puppet, basically like possess him, make like things seem like they were normal when they really weren't. And I kind of like that. It was interesting. Like they didn't just like kill off the monk guy. They had his very important part of this episode that he was still alive in there. He was just sort of being controlled by this demonic energy, and that is the big conflict that I enjoyed in this episode between Toa and Setsuna. Is Setsuna like grew up in this era, in this time, right? With the where slaying demons is like a job, and when it is their job, she's kind of just doing it because it needs to be done. She doesn't necessarily seem to have the easiest grasp on connecting with the villagers or anything like that. Whereas Toa wants to do this because she sees May. She sees like her little sister, I think, in people, and she just genuinely sees good in people and in these villagers and stuff like that. So when she wants to investigate into demon action and stuff like that, it is at the end of the day for her about helping the village and the villagers and stuff like that. And if she can do that, obviously, like without killing things, that's what she wants to do. Whereas Setsuna is a little different. Slaying demons is the job. Like that's what we need to do, and stuff that gets in the way is just sort of relevant and sort of annoying in this aspect. And I like that contrast. I like how Setsuna is sort of like cold, and Toa is has a much warmer heart, in my opinion. And it's sort of the contrast of somebody from from the modern era and someone from this sort of like feudal age. And it's sort of interesting. Like Setsuna could sort of like learn to connect with people through Toa. Like Toa is teaching her that like you can still do this job and still care about the people that you're doing it for. And especially now that Toa has activated this seemingly unique ability to her, where she uses her sword to basically like, from what I understand, like absorb the demon or demonic energy from someone that's like possessed or something like that. So it's not really just like slicing through, killing them, and ending the whole thing. Kind of made me think a little bit about, and fans of this franchise I'm about to mention, don't get mad at me because I might stumble here and get something wrong, but a little bit of my understanding of Bleach. Now, and in Bleach you have, the little that I know, you have the Soul Reapers and you have the Quincy's, right? And the Soul Reapers, from what I understand, when they deal with a hollow, when they deal with like these like corrupted spirits, they, they battle them, and at the conclusion of that battle, from what I understand, they release their soul to like an afterlife like type state, or like the Soul Society, right? I think it's like the butterfly thing. I don't know. Whereas Quincy's, I know the big like problem with them is that they just outright slay the problem. They just kill it, and the soul is gone and stuff like that. So obviously different like philosophies going on with that, and probably reasonings for the Quincy's to be doing what they're doing. But yeah, and it's interesting to see like within our main cast here, just the different philosophies about demon hunting, as it were. As we're trying to really help out Setsuna here, she's sort of pushing against what Toa believes in, and just interesting sort of butting of heads between the characters that I think. It was very interesting, and we see that Setsuna, like, she doesn't like verbally say so, but she does acknowledge that she liked her time in the modern day when she was playing violin and stuff like that, and actually had loving relationships probably for the first time in her life, and understands that it's okay to let your guard down and connect with people for once. So it'd be interesting to see how that develops in the future, and where we go with the Dream Butterfly scenario. I'm hoping that that's something that kind of wraps up maybe kind of quickly, or we just get some more clues about that and stuff like that. For now, it just seems kind of a little Monster of the Weeky, a little Moraha trying to get some more money and then ultimately failing, and the characters getting some development, which is all good, which is all fine. I think this was a pretty good episode. I didn't think that the antagonist of this one was really as cool, obviously, as the Takotsu or something, the bone guy from the last one, who looked really like badass and everything. But yeah, what did you guys think of this week's episode of Yashahime? Let me know in the comments section below. What are you guys looking forward to in the future? Thank you to everybody that supports me on Patreon. You guys are really, really cool people, and it really means a lot to me that you're doing that. Thank you. Thank you. Also, shout out to Axel Beats. If you're watching me and you don't watch his channel, you're kind of doing it wrong. He's a really cool guy. He does like daily Inuyasha and Yashahime content, and I was recently on his channel to do this cool trivia game with him, and he's beyond a nice guy, and I support his channel. It's really, really great. I'm going to link that video down below. Please sub to him if you haven't yet, because he's trying to work on a goal like 20K, I think, like that, and he's going to, when he hits his goal, he's going to get an Inuyasha tattoo, which is huge. I am not making any sort of commitment like that at this point. Let me be clear that it's all Axel, but we want him to do it. He's a really cool guy, and I hope I didn't disappoint you in my execution of the trivia game there. I tried my best, but it was a really fun time. He's a really cool dude. I'll link him down below in the description box. But yeah, thanks everybody that supports me. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. My name is Miasma, and I'll see you next time.